letters, Alephim, meaning the word that gets translated as God. We've had incredible difficulty with our English language due to theology. Theology means an etymology to create words to express religious ideas. Theology has said that God is a certain thing to express a religious idea. What is the etymology of religion? To return to bondage. My goal is to collapse all of those egregores, all of those things that we were given as theology that bind us, to set us free so that we can experience who we are in the totality of our being by collapsing all the egregores, the thought forms that we have given our energy into that are just not real. So the essence of God is a strong leader, teaching shepherd. So an ox that is yoked to a younger ox would be a monad, one who has come into themselves as an Alephim that is yoking themselves to a student to teach them how to become an Alephim. One way you guys can connect to this is mother and fathers that are spiritual parents. That's something that we know from the Christian church, right? I have a spiritual mother and father. My spiritual mother and father were supposed to help me reach the age of maturity in becoming the Alephim. The trouble is, if we weren't given the roadmap how to get there, how could we really beget another monad if we never reached it ourselves, if we were given theology that would bind us and not set us free? We're reversing that here. So the Aleph is the path to do that. And when we become self-actualized as the Alephim, as the family, when it says yoking and taming, what are we talking about? We're talking about yoking and taming our ego. Because it's the ego that keeps us separating from one another. It's our ego that gets bruised. It's our ego that needs to defend itself. It's our ego that needs to justify itself. The Alephim, we all have egos. We're not getting rid of them. That's what allows us to associate ourselves as different beings. But what happens when we become the Alephim? We're Alephim with egos that don't get in the way. What does that mean? Alephim don't get offended if somebody thinks differently. Alephim doesn't get up in a roar when they feel like, well, they don't feel like they have to have their way because they are as it. They are never not. They are. No justification, no defense is needed. It's the place of silence in full acceptance, realizing that we're all in our own journeys. But can you imagine how powerful it is when we all become Alephim? When we are all in that vibratory place and our little egos aren't getting in the way? Oh my gosh. Creation at its finest. So that's why that frequency of understanding that this Aleph, these are words. These are words that you may not see this in the symbol. Bye, Jeffrey. You may not see this in the symbol, but it's there. That vibration is there. It's all about family. And I know that some of us have been really disappointed by our earthly family. Some of us have been reunited with our earthly families, and there's a lot of restoration going on. The reason why that restoration is going on in your family is because you're doing the work. It is what you are doing that is allowing the families to come back together, because what we are doing is affecting all of us collectively, and it is affecting your earthly phantom, your family, through a quantum realm, because you're connected to them. So thank you for your work. Your family may never know what you're doing, and they may never want to know what you're doing. What is this crazy study you're doing with this Hebrew and Aramaic and stuff, and you're ditching the Bible? Doesn't matter. Aleph is about love. Love well. Become the Alephim. Show people how to become the Alephim if they ask, and if they don't ask, just be it. You realize that our resonance, when we become the Alephim, no words are necessary. That was a beautiful kiss on the cheek. Hello, David's partner. That was beautiful. I just caught that. That was awesome. That made my heart smile. Hi. When we become this affects everyone just by being in your presence. Your resonance helps open up their hearts. Your resonance, because you are of the God frequency. How many of us fell in love with our journey and found that creator essence in worship? Anybody else willing to? Oh my gosh, it just gave me goosebumps. That was the most sacred place to me, to feel that frequency. It drew me in, and I want more of that. I want more of that. You realize that when this Alephim becomes manifest in us, when we fully understand the essence of who we are, that frequency is provided for other people when they're in our presence. And nothing needs to be said, because we are that frequency. I hope you guys are getting that. I know this beyond a shadow of a doubt. And that's what I see with all of you here. We're just fine-tuning ourselves so that we can be the walking, talking representation of God on the earth, that is a strong leader, teaching shepherds that have the authority within, that are no longer the face of anger, but are literally the representation of God walking in the earth as the Shekinah glory, bringing forth words that reveal unity. Alan does a beautiful job in his poetry all the time. He expresses it through poetry. He does it his way to express to his family and friends that which he has come into. And all of you, all of us here, will have our own expression of how we do it. It doesn't have to be in poetry. The Qumran community wrote poetry all the time because they understood this.